All right, guys. Yo, what up? It's your boy T Doubles Blazing the Sports, guys. I am back at it like a crack addict, giving you boxing geekers this work. This is going to be my 15 minutes or less. I'm going to give you my absolute best, guys. And this is a topic that is hot. This is a topic that has YouTube streets, internet, boxing forums. It is lit. Guys, I'm talking about Terence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr. Not happening. Now, I want to give you guys my initial thoughts, how I felt about when the fight didn't happen. I was let down. I was disappointed because this negotiation has been going on so long that I was shocked when I heard that, oh, Terence Crawford has signed to fight David, what is his name? Ann Vision, something like that, right? I am shocked. And I'm like, no. And I'm feeling like, man, this fight ain't gonna happen. I'm feeling like, once mandatory start happening, and then here's the blame game. Who do you blame? Right? Do you blame Errol Spence Jr.? Do you blame Terence Crawford? Do you blame the suits? You know what I'm talking about. It's the people that don't fight, but they control a lot of finance, right? Do you control the suit? I mean, I blame the suits. Now, when I look at this on the surface, the least person that can be blamed on the surface, in my opinion, is Errol Spence Jr. Why? Because this is a man that is still without a fight. This is a man that doesn't have a backup fight in his pocket, and he's not saying, "Oh, since Terence Crawford already fought about to fight this guy, well, I already have this guy in my back pocket, and I'm going to fight him next." And at that point, it just seemed like both parties would be at fault. Both parties kind of knew what they want to do, and both parties want to take somewhat like a lower level risk fight, and then maybe make the fight, next year. But that don't seem to be the case. So now it comes down to, is more to blame on Terence Crawford, or is more to blame on the suits? Again, the suits are being people that maybe Al Heyman, Showtime, what is it, Stephen Espinoza? Like it could the suits be behind it, and they could. Now, one of the reasons that people are saying that Terence Crawford decided not to fight Earl next and to move on, they're saying something along the line, and I don't think I can really believe it, but something along the line that he was offered little to no upfront money, 35%, and no back end money. I don't know how you I don't know how you get any of that. If that's the case, then it's 35% of what? 35% of what? Because if you get no back end money, what's the front end money? Like 35% of I don't know. Because everything is most likely got to be based off of the pay per view buys, right? It has to be based off of that. So then that's why people say that when he says, "Oh, you gonna give me 35%," then I want to see the whole books, and it looks like the whole books was unavailable. So, but guys, again, uh, I don't know if that's true or not. To me, it doesn't sound true. To offer a undisputed matchup. Well, you know what? No, let me take that back. Take it back. It it doesn't sound like that's the final offer, right? Let's get it correct. Because people can start anywhere with no negotiation. They know for a fact that wherever they start at, you're going to ask for more. It is just taught that in business. If they didn't want to Terence Crawford immediately and says, all right, we want to do this fight 50-50. So Terence like, well, that's what you're going to start at. Well, I will look at it more like 70-50. I mean, no, 70-30, and then try to work to an in between. So it's possible it could have started with a 35%, possible. But as long as they've been negotiating, I just cannot imagine that there hasn't been back and forth numbers, back and forth discussions, back and forth on what to accept and not accept for this level of fight. But what it sounds like is, and I could be wrong. I'm just saying what it sounds like. Sounds like to me that the reason that this discussion went on so long, that possibly Terence Crawford, maybe he felt that the deal wasn't going to be made. Maybe he felt that whatever they come up with, it's probably not going to be good enough for him. So at that point, he could have already went into negotiation with David and was somewhat using, hey, I have the Spence fight right here. If you want to fight me, you're going to have to give me a bigger purse. And it's possible that he could have used the potential to fight Spence as a way to get the big thing. Well, this is the biggest purse that is guaranteed to Terence Crawford in his career. And he's going to fight on December the 10th. I think it's, I don't want to butcher his name. I think it's David, is it Anvisian? Anavisians? I don't know, man. You know what I'm trying to say. I got to hear it and I can say it. So he's fighting this guy on December 10th for his biggest payday on a pay-per-view that is going to be $39.95 on a network. I believe it might be a newer network called BLK Prime. Guys, I think the way that this looked against Terrence, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but it looks worse for Terrence than it does for Errol Spence Jr. because he had an ace in his back pocket. It looks bad for him. It looks like he wasn't negotiating in good faith because you already think about this. If Errol Spence Jr. and again, this is what's been put out there because it can change any moment. If Errol Spence Jr. did not know that Terence Crawford was in a second negotiation with David, then Earl wouldn't have been surprised when it came out. Earl would have had a backup plan for himself. But it sounded like when he found out that Terrence actually has an opponent and is signed, it sounded like it sounded like Errol Spence did not know about Terence Crawford when negotiating with somebody else and signed a fight. And it's so crazy how that backdoor deal or a back, I guess can't call it back door, but the fight that wasn't at the forefront against David, how that fight got made so fast, so easy. It got made within negotiation of another fight. And now, because of this, because of how everything went down, both fighters are taking a hit. Both fighters are being called ducks. Duck, duck, goose. They just straight up ducks. The type of ducks that Elmer Fudd would love to see out hunt. Errol Spence Jr. now doesn't have a fight. And now he's in a bad position. Because people are turning on him. They are flipping on him. Now they said, oh, you're not fighting Terrence. Now you got to fight Boots. Because Boots, Jerron Boots, who I think is a really good fighter, he has requested that the IBF order him to fight Errol Spence next. And the WBA, Stanionis, has ordered, or he has sent the request to the WBA for him to fight Earl next. Now, I'm going to be completely honest what I think what is likely to happen next. And what is likely to happen next is the Stanionis fight. I think the powers at hand is probably go ask Earl which route you want to go, and it might be Stanionis. Now, the most competitive, the most threat is Jerron Boots Ennis. That boy can fight. That boy got skills. But I just, even though I know he's going to push it, I just don't see, I don't know if I see Earl fighting it. But you know what? I could be wrong. I've been wrong before because I was thinking Earl did not want to jump right out there with Danny Garcia as a fight after going through what he went through. He did. He said he don't want no tune-up, right? But he also saying now that making 147 is hard, and he might want to move up. Now I got to ask you this. Errol Spence Jr., if he does not fight any of the mandatories that are trying to fight him, because they're going to be ordered. Now, the bigger fight out of Jerron Ennis, IBO, Steniosis, WA, and a person that does not have a claim at getting a mandatory spot is Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence is the biggest fight that Earl can make outside of fighting Terence Crawford. That's it. He's the most accomplished. He has been proven. He's been on pay-per-view. Keith Thurman makes more sense, but he does not have a claim to the Iron Throne. Which means if Keith is not clear about any sanction bodies, if Earl fights Keith, he's going to lose a belt or two. Especially if they order Steniosis or who's Ennis to be next. Guys, when I'm talking about Errol Spence is in a tight spot, he is in a tight spot. He is skinny jeans on a big man. He's in a tight squeeze. He in a tight squeeze. Now I gotta ask you this. Guys. Remember, these are just questions. These are questions. Errol Spence talk about making 147 getting hard. He might just move to 154. If after not making his Terence Crawford fight, if he moves to 154 right now, do you blame Earl? Is he quack, duck, mother? Is he a duck? Or do you say, listen, I don't blame him because if he wanted to try to be undisputed at 147 and not making his Terence Crawford fight, it'd be like, listen, guys, I don't blame him for not wanting to stick around, have to fight a mandatory after mandatory till finally get Terence Crawford in the ring. And we don't even know what Terence Crawford going to do, because one day after fighting whoever Terence Crawford going to fight, he could potentially move up and try to face a fight with Jermell Charlo. And I'd be stuck down here, just keep fighting and defending these 3 belts with no opportunity of getting a fourth. If he feel like, listen, guys, if all I can accomplish is these 3 belts, and it's not looking good for me to get a Terence Crawford fight, and that is going to come in between me getting undisputed, then I'm just going to move up to 154. Do you see how both ways can make a little sense? Do you see how if he did move up to 154, they can make an argument why? But then you could also say that, if you move to 154, just not fighting Terence, that you can still defend your titles. So every time he fights anyone else, he got to put 3 belts on the line. He fight Ennis, he got to put 3 belts on the line. He fight by that time it'd be Virgil Ortiz. Guys, again, these are questions, man, and there's no right or wrong answers. But again, off the flip, it looks bad on Terence Crawford, but it's a lot of pressure on Errol Spence Jr. right now. It's I'm talking about BBW style, putting pressure on him right now. That's a lot of pressure on Earl, because it seemed like Errol Spence was invested in making Terence Crawford fight. I mean, guys, this negotiation window. Think about this, and this is what pissed me off, and it pisses me off, is that they have been in negotiation for so damn long to really be that far away. They have, to me, the longer there was a negotiation, they was getting further and further away from making a fight. The longer they was in this negotiation, they was getting closer and closer to Terence Crawford signing and sealing a deal with BLK Prime to fight David. That's what it sounds like. Because Errol Spence, Terence Crawford come out of nowhere and says, I'm fighting David December 10th. 8-figure deal. Biggest guarantee of my career. I mean, it does look like that Terence might have been using the Spence fights as a little bit of leverage of getting more money to fight David. That was he really in good faith the whole time, or was there a time when he lost it? Or did the suits disrespect him with the deals, with the offers? We don't know. And it's hard for anyone to really judge 100% because you don't know. Like me right now, I don't. I know how it looks. And we know right now we can look at a text message and interpret how it's actually meant, right? And get that wrong sometimes. You know, since you get a text message, you read it as an attitude, you come back. I don't know who you snapping at, and the person's not like, I'm not. I was just asking this. I'm busy, so I cut my words down just to get to the point, so I can either keep driving or keep working or whatever. But what if there's some truth? Now, a lot of people says that, man, if Terence Crawford really wanted to make the fight, he should have been like Devin Haney. He should have accepted whatever they offered him. Well, then, why don't you do that in your life? Why don't you, if a job offer you $7.25 an hour, $10 an hour, 12, then why don't you just accept it? Why are you working somewhere else that pays more than somewhere else that pays less? Because you don't accept bullshit. And if you accept it now with that person or that company, you're only going to go so far. Because they're going to base every check off the initial one you took. We'll add 2% to that the next year, and 2% to that to the next fight, and 2% to that. But again, we don't know, man. Listen, this has been going on for so long. I have to, in my good faith, believe that they had to offer him something up front. They had to offer him a percentage of the back. I don't know if I can 100% fully say the best thing they offered him was no upfront money, no back end money, and only 35% of some unknown money. That sounds like fan lies. Sound like BS. Sound like BS. Sound like somebody to justify a decision. Because it don't even sound right. It sounds like whoever thought that up didn't even think how it would even come out. Okay, then, well, if he's not getting upfront money or back end money, what's the 35% he's going to get? Well, I don't know. That's to be determined. That's whatever Al want to pay him. It's crazy how Al Heyman ain't said nothing, but he's getting hit on the head like a nail. He's taking all the hits. They trying to drive him flush into the board. The Terence Crawford fight, honestly, man, because of the bad press I think he's getting, because of the backlash he is getting, and he's getting it, deserved or not deserved, Terence Crawford is getting it. I don't think if they made it 29, if they made it 79.99, kept it at 39.95, made it 29.99, made it 19.95. If they made it 10.95, I don't think it's gonna really affect the sales that much. Maybe $10. Maybe, you know what? Maybe $10. Maybe $10. But again, at $10, $30, I don't see the sales being that crazy different. I don't see that. Oh, $30, he'll do about 250K. Oh, $10, he gonna do $1 million. I don't see that. I don't. It might do slightly more, but I don't see it. It could push somebody who didn't want to spend 30 on it, and if you make it like $9.99, you know the unsaid $10, the $9.99. This man, like I said, man, the best thing what these guys should do is make this fight, and we don't know who is the root of it, because most likely this was a conversation decision. This wasn't just Terence Crawford. This wasn't just him. This was a conversation decision amongst people, and they decided. Remember, Floyd Mayweather said that the fight ain't gonna happen next. Floyd Mayweather the one that said it's gonna happen somewhere down the line. Maybe. That's what Floyd said. Floyd said, listen, I talked to Al Heyman. He's like a second dad to me, or a dad to me, a father. And if I said the fight ain't gonna happen until somewhere down the line, maybe, then that's what he means. So then it makes me think that, okay, even if the no upfront money or the no back end money, it does make me think that the offer wasn't a good offer. It was an offer that they knew that was most likely wasn't going to be accepted right now. Because they're already planning on the fight later. But they said if he is willing, most likely, if he is willing to take this low ball offer now, then we'll do it. If he's willing to take something that's unheard of, we'll do it. But the offer is meant to be insulting. Because he's going to get the blame. He's going to get the blame. And Terence is getting blamed. And I don't know if he's right or wrong for it, but he's getting backlash. He's getting whiplash. He's getting stinger splat. And Errol Spence is in a tough pickle. Again, I think out of all the people, I think Errol might be the one that, and I could be wrong. Remember, Earl is his own promotional company too. I could be wrong, but it looks like Earl is the one that got the short end of the straw. He the one that was effed over more than anybody else. He is the least to blame, what it looks like to me. But because he's the least to blame, and it doesn't matter because Terence Crawford already signed up to make this money with BLK Prime fighting December 10th on pay-per-view, Earl is looking down the barrel of either Jerron Bruce Ennis or Stanios. Either he's going to take a shot from one of them slugs and have to defend those major titles, or he's about to give up some. He's about to give up some. And I tell you right now, if he gives up one belt, Undisputed is going to be so far away, it's crazy. If he gives up one or two belts, his dream, Terence Crawford dream of being undisputed, it's a long, long ways away. God, it's your boy T-Dub. Gave a little bit more than my 15 minutes or less. Guys, do me a favor. I hope you guys, please subscribe to this channel, guys. I really need it. Hit the like button. You know how YouTube dummy, ever since I blew up Call and Fight, they got me blacklisted. Really hard for me to get out there, but I need you guys come in, subscribe, give your comment on the show, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. If you want to smoke when I'm live and you can see me, get it. I'm not afraid. I ain't ducking no smoke. Or if you agree, let's talk and laugh about it.